Good day, viewers, and here we are at Knowles Garden Tractors and Firewood again today. And today is Sunday, and this is the Sunday afternoon fireside chat. And it's done in the afternoon, and we have the fire on. Oh, boys, we're back to normal now. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, as I said at the first, I think I said anyway, good day, viewers. And I just wanted to say that I have to thank all the viewers. And if without the viewers, I wouldn't have got to where I got to yesterday, I guess. So yesterday I crossed 300,000 views. That's a lot of views. Thank you very much for everybody that watches and views, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's quite a thing. My little channel. 300,000 people. Well, I guess not 300,000, but there's a lot of people that watch over and over and over again. So, but still, 300,000 views. So that's a lot of views. I was just looking yesterday. I thought it was be 3 years this coming January, but it's only 2 years this coming January. And the latest video I found that I could when I got looking through my video things there, January 13th, 2023, was the first video I made. So not quite 2 years yet, just getting there. Yeah, so 300,000 views. Holy cats. Anyway, thank you all very much for viewing. So now I'll have to say, and thank you very much for all the people who have subscribed. And we've gotten a few over the last couple of weeks, so that's great. I think I'm at 910, I think, subscribers. So I think my videos, I've got 947, I think, videos. So I'm kind of playing a little game with myself here to see which one will get to the 1,000 mark first, the subscribers or the videos. Anyway, it's a cool one here today. We'll get things underway here, and I'll go up and show you what the weather is doing. Well, there you go. Isn't that just nasty? Wet snow. Yeah, and raining out today. So yesterday, last, I guess Friday night, we got snow, and it was all white here yesterday morning. And today we're just above zero a bit, so it's all going to start to melt and be gone. Well, that's good. So anyway, yeah, we had it was completely white here yesterday morning. My truck was covered, and wife's car was covered. White. So anyway, it's kind of strange out at my daughter's place. She had the same thing, completely white. Not a lot, but maybe an inch or so of white. But anyway, she had her two sons out playing in the snow. They had a great time. So she's about, well, it takes me about 45 minutes to get to her from where I live here. Of course, it's not all straight going. But anyway. Now, the other thing is, over at my son's place, which is only 15 minutes away, and of course not straight going, no snow. Nothing. It's kind of strange over there that they don't get snow nearly as much as I do here. And their snow is gone in the spring earlier than my snow is here. So, and it's not that far away by the way the crow flies straight across. So, yeah, it's kind of different. Anyway, we'll get to the weather here and we'll see. I don't think we're going to get any more snow for a while. So there we go. Now we got the loader up in the air here today. I'm going to show you something here in a little bit. Just something I'm going to maybe try and do. Yeah, so we're at 4 degrees Celsius now. 38 degrees Fahrenheit. That's as Rick from Rick's Outdoors would say, bitter cold. And the east-southeast winds at 12 miles an hour. Well, we don't get that direction of wind too often here, that's for sure. So I was supposed to get to 5 degrees today, but anyway, it's at 4, so that's probably going to be about it. It might get to 5, but I'm sure if you were standing out there, you wouldn't notice any difference. So more rain tomorrow. Mix of showers and flurries on Tuesday. We have 4 degrees and 2 degrees. And Wednesday and Thursday are mix of sun and clouds, 2 degrees Celsius. And Friday and Saturday back to rain again, 6 and 7. So no accumulation of snow coming here for the next week anyway, probably. So there we go. Winter is coming, and some places like Dave up in Quebec, RCAF Polar Express, lots of snow there. So he kind of got caught without any snow equipment on his little red tractor, so he had to do some scrambling there. Anyway, well, the poor little truck, I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to try and keep it going for another little bit anyway, I guess. We're considering and thinking about buying a used. I'd never be able to buy a new one, that's for sure. A used Ranger. A 2020 or 2019 or 2021, maybe, possibly, could be, but we'll see. Anyway, holy cats, the price of stuff is just unbelievable. Yeah, 2021 Ranger. So we've seen one today for $29,000 Canadian. Yep. Holy cats, that's a lot of money. For me, anyway. Yeah, anyway, we'll have to see what we're going to do. Nice looking little truck. It's basically the same color as my own here. And 2-door with the extra cab. I don't want a 4-door. I don't necessarily like the look of those. But anyway, we'll have to see. It'll be a while yet before we get to do anything, I suppose. But we'll try and keep this fella going for a little while yet. It's kind of sad. The whole thing works like a top, but it's just rusty to the point where do you do anything with it or do you not? Yeah, it's kind of sad. It's suited me well for the 14 years I've had it. Yes, sir. Great truck. I'd say very well. Sorry. Still got the cough and it's slowly going away. Yeah, that truck was pretty well about the best vehicle I think I've ever had. Compared to a 1988 Chev Celebrity station wagon. It was also a very, very good vehicle. So, anyway, I guess they don't last forever. They certainly don't around here anyway. So, all right, we'll move along here, I guess. So we'll just have a little update on the firewood situation here. So you can see there, it's kind of hard to tell. If I go over this way, maybe. You can kind of see this edge of wood here. So I've burnt from there up to the ceiling already this winter season. So I think what I'm going to start doing, like this is, I always call this the October November row, and then once I'm done with that, then I get into the back row, which I call the December row, and then once I'm done with that, I get into this row here, and this is the January row, and then there's three rows here, so this is January and February and March. But anyway, by the time end of February, March comes, and this row kind of normally lasts through April and maybe into May a little bit. So that's how it kind of goes. So, and you can see at the top, it's those pieces were put in, and some of them were pounded in with a hammer up at the very top. And now you could probably get another row of wood in there. That's how much they settled and dried, I guess. So anyway, I really can't take all this wood out of here right now because I still have my hunks and chunks and bits and pieces here yet. And this is lasting longer than I thought it was gonna. So I kind of got to keep that back row for a wall for this stuff. So what I'm going to have to do is get into the December row and start pulling some of that down and setting it up on top of this row. I'll still take a little bit more wood off of there today, and then tomorrow I'll have to start up there, I'd say. So well, that's what we're going to do. That's what how the wood fire or the firewood situation is at the moment. I got our lanterns on again today. Lanterns are on. We'll do the stickers here in a little bit too. I'm going to go over here, and this is more or less for Rick at Twin Brook Acres. He's having a little bit of trouble with the starter on his MF12, and Joseph from Garden Tractor Boy thought that the starter that was on his tractor was the wrong one, which it could be. But I don't know. The one that's on Rick's tractor fits on. So if it was a good starter, you would think it would turn the engine over. But anyway, he's having trouble with the engine not turning over fast enough. It spins and slows down, whatever. But anyway, this starter here is the one that was on my MF12. Mine is over there with the loader on it. It's a 1976 and Rick's is a 1971. So now whether there's any difference in starters from them years, I don't know that. But they're both the same engine, as far as I know, both an HH120 Tecumseh engine. Anyway, yeah, so this is the way that this goes onto the engine. If you're looking at the engine into the engine from the right side, that's how the starter bolts on. Those two bolts go in the bottom. That one goes in the top, and you hook up your wire on the bottom. Now Rick's starter, it looks quite a bit different. It's mounted in like this. It's got the stud for the wire up on the top, I think. So anyway, I don't know what it would be off of, or if that was an original starter. That it could be. I don't know. Anyway, Rick, that's what's what with that. It's these two bolts go to the bottom, And this one goes to the top. I don't know what that says. It's upside down. What's this say? Tchaikovsky, made in USA. This starter of mine has got troubles. The brushes and armature are bad in it, I guess. So that's another number. I don't know what those numbers are for. Anyway, back 2011. April, I think, in 2011, I had to buy a starter for my tractor, and that's what I bought. And I put, I keep everything right, so I just put that old starter back in the same box that the new one came in. Because you just never know what you might need out of it. So, anyway, the new one, I guess, has been working since 2011, so that's a good thing. There's some expensive, holy cats. I don't want to even say the price of what I paid for that. Holy cats, compared to what Rick was saying he was getting one for. Man, oh man, yep, they're expensive. Anyway, Rick, I don't know if this is going to help you or not, but that's what goes on there. I did send some pictures to Rick, and like I say, that's the way it goes on the engine, right like that. All right, so we'll stop it at that for now, and what else have I got to do? I got to do something else here yet, I guess. So I had the bucket up in the air here. I was hoping to have a little more room so I could show you, but I don't. So having 6 tractors in here is just not the thing. So I might have to try and do something else for next year. Anyway, so I do and I don't want to use this in the snow, because it's not going to be near as fast as any of these snowblower tractors. It'll be fun to use, but not nearly as fast. And all you can do is to make piles, which if you didn't have a snowblower and you made the piles, well, you kind of run out of room sometimes. So anyway, as my father always used to say, and he was into the snow removal business and repairing snow equipment, you got to have somewhere to put the next storm. That was a saying. So anyway, I've a few videos and some people have said things and I got information from. So what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to get some plastic pipe. And plastic pipe is going to go from over there right to here, as far as I know. After looking at this bucket now this morning here, I already see that I need a bigger pipe. I thought I was going to try 1.5 inches, but 1.5 inches not really deep enough. So I'll have to get something bigger. I'll have to go to 2 inch probably, so I can get in to there. So anyway, you get these plastic pipes, you cut a slot in the back of it, and you push it over your bucket, and your bucket is then riding on the plastic instead of on the metal. I don't want to run the bucket on the metal. On the uneven pavement out there, it's not perfectly flat pavement, it's broken up pavement, and down here it's rock dust and not perfect driveway. So I don't want to wear the bucket any more than I have to. I'd rather just try and put something on here and see if it'll make it run over the snow on that, and then keep keep the bucket tipped so it's not running on the backside underneath here either. So that's the plan, and what I'm hoping to get, and I think I know, it's the gray plastic pipe that's used for water. I think it's called PVC, and from my experience of working in the propane business and around things like that. We used that kind of pipe for venting, I believe, at one time. It's as hard, holy cats, it's almost as hard as that metal to try and cut it with a hacksaw. So what I'm going to do, I think, I'm going to change my mind to go from 1.5 inches up to 2 inches. And I'll cut a slot in the back of it somehow and push it on to here. And I'm also going to get the Schedule 80 pipe instead of Schedule 40. Schedule 80 is a lot thicker than the 40. So then, when it wears, I should be able to take it off, flip it over, and put it back on again. And I'm going to have to buy an 8-foot length of it, because that's all they would sell it in. And this is 40 inches wide, so I'd be able to get two pieces out of it. And hard to say how long it would last, but running the plastic along that there, it probably wouldn't really last very long, but once you get a snowpack down, then it should last pretty good. So that's what I'm going to try and do here. And what else I'm going to do is over when the pipe comes over to here, I'm kind of hoping to drill a small hole in it, hook a strap onto it, and take the strap back to here on each side, and that'll hold the pipe on. So when you back up, it won't fall off. That is the plan. Now, whether I'll get to do that or not, I don't know. I'll go to the store tomorrow where they sell all this type of pipe, and they sell concrete forms and all that kind of stuff. And my buddy works there too. Anyway, he's out on the truck all the time. Anyway, I'll go there and see what they have. And if I get what I want, I'll do a little video on it, hopefully. So here we are, November 16th. Look at that, eh? Only 2 weeks and November's over. 2 weeks of hibernation and 2 weeks of winter gone already. That's good. Yes, sir. Christmas is coming quick. So if you don't have your gift spot for me yet, you better get out and get them. Anyway. All right, I'll set you up over here somewhere, and I'll have a sit down and have a little chat and see how things go from there. All right, so we'll continue on here with the chat. I'm not sure what I'm going to chat about, but anyway. One thing I've been watching on the YouTube, now I mentioned in the YouTubes and the videos, holy cats, I think I added it up here today before I come out here to do the chat. I'm about 3 hours behind on all the videos that I normally watch. You know, if you take the videos you watch and add up the time, it comes up to about 3 hours that I'm behind on. Yeah, there's so many great videos out there, it's hard to keep up with them all. Anyway, one I do watch is the channel name is Scott Hayward, and he lives in Newfoundland, Canada. And he's got a great little series going there with the tying knots and how to do them, and ease of how to do them and what to do them and what they're for. And yeah, it's kind of a neat series. I like that. I'm going to try one of those knots here later today just for fun to see if I can do it. And the great thing about it is, and I have already done it, is Scott's videos are there on YouTube, and I can go back and reference on them to see how to do them if I can't remember, which I probably won't be able to. So anyway, yeah, great channel to watch. Scott's great fella, and his channel name is Scott Hayward. That's his name, and that's what his channel name is. And there we go. That's a good one to watch. But like I say, I'm way behind on videos. I normally Yeah, Sunday morning is my time to try and catch up. Not today. I probably was behind 6 hours, and I got 3 hours done, but I'm still behind 3 hours. So anyway, um, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to do the stickers here, but I'm kind of just going to go over them quick today because, like I say, I haven't been watching enough videos to see what's what because I I don't know what's going on the videos because I haven't watched them. So anyhow, yeah, over at my son's place there yesterday, we did a little bit of work on my truck. I just changed the oil and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of sad. Son and I were kind of going on. This is the last oil change. Oh dear. Anyway, it was it was way overdue. Holy cats! And I knew about a month ago I should get it done, and I forgot, of course. Too many other things going on. And anyway, it's done now, so that's good. Now, whenever I get a truck, if I ever do, the truck is going to go to my son because it's not worth anything to sell. You might get $500 to $1,000 for it, so that won't do nothing for you really. So anyway, my son does have a 2011 Ford Ranger, exact same color, and so I figured, well, he could use it for parts if he needs to. His truck is in wonderful condition. It's only it's just 90,000 kilometers, I think, on it. And it's a 2011. That's the last year that they made those Rangers. So anyway, it's in good shape, but it's eventually going to need parts and stuff like that. And if he ever got ran into or something, well, then he'd have parts to fix his own and stuff. Because it seems you just can't buy parts to fix stuff anymore either. Yeah, he's got a nice little truck there. He's got the bigger tires on it, and I think they're 33-inch tall tires, and with the original gearing and the differentials of 373s, she was kind of hard to get the thing to move, and little bit hard on the clutch trying to get her to get going. Now my truck came from the factory because of the type of option it had. There were 410 gears in it. But anyway, he ended up putting 456 gears in his truck, front and back. And boy, the difference that made and the drivability of that truck was unreal. Just works like a top now. Works good. So anyway, yeah, he's going to get the truck, and like I say, when and if we ever get another one or whatever. So we did a lot of work at his place last weekend. He was off for the weekend, off on the Monday, so we've got his Mustang put away in the lean-to. The little camper that he has for the back of his Ranger truck, we got that put into his garage and got it all set up. Got all the winter tires finished, changing them around. So that was about 10 vehicles. Yeah, lots of stuff done there last weekend. So he's all done and ready for winter now too. So that's good. And it seems like, and it's your own fault. The more things you have, the more things you got to do. Like all the garden tractors. If I didn't have all these garden tractors, I wouldn't have to look after them. And my son, he's got garden tractors, and then he's got 2 tractors, and he's got to look after. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vehicles of his own to look after. So that takes up time, oil changes, and yeah, it's your own fault if you get a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. All right. Anyway, that's the way it is. If you want to have stuff, you're going to have to look after it. That's the main thing, isn't it? Yeah. So I guess that's probably about all. I'm sure I could find other things to talk about if I thought long enough, but then it would make the video too long, of course. So I got the bearings back in that spindle. I think I mentioned that. Oh, we finished up his snowblower yesterday. I got it all lubricated up and we had it running there. There is a little short I put out yesterday on the snowblower running and showing how it operates and stuff. Yeah, great little snowblower. It works great. So we got that all oiled up, and we coated it with clear coat, but it was a brush-on clear coat. He bought a liter can of clear coat, and you open up the can, it almost kind of just looks like varnish, maybe, or something like that. But anyway, we brushed it on to the blower, and we also brushed it onto the blade that is on the back of the Ferguson tractor, the 7-foot rear blade. So what that's going to do is help the snow to slide off. And that's what we do here with all the snow removal equipment. I've never used a brush-on clear coat yet. That's the first time we've ever used it, so I'm kind of curious to see how it works. I've always used a spray-on stuff, and I find it great. It's great stuff. It certainly helps keep the snow from sticking. So I guess that's probably about it. I might as well get to the stickers here, and like I say, I'm just going to go over them kind of quickly because I don't have enough videos in my memory bank to remember what went on. So, all right, we'll get at that then now. All right, we'll get at the stickers here and kind of get a little overview of that today. So, as we always do, we start with Grampy's Workshop. Grampy had a little video out there Friday afternoon, so that's great. He is trying to get a communication system so that when he's out of the house, that if Nanny needs him, that she can get a hold of him to come in the house. So he's tried different things over the years when they started living there, and a lot of the things didn't work for them. So anyway, he came up with something there the other day that he seems to think is going to work, and it sounded like it was gonna. So his thing is, if he's out at the end of the long driveway, I don't know, if you watch Grampy's Workshop, you'll know how long his driveway is. So he's away from the house quite a distance when he's out at the end of the driveway doing the snow. So a communication system would be quite helpful, that's for sure. So anyway, I think he's got a new system kind of figured out there, so that's great. And hopefully things go along great for Mike and Annie, that's for sure. Well, we'll move along here. We have Murphy Mowers. He's kind of into garden tractors and anything with a small engine. And Len's keeping busy. Well, I guess he is. I haven't heard nothing from Len, so I don't know. Garden Tractor Boy, I did get to see this video. I always try and get to watch Garden Tractor Boy, that's for sure, but sometimes I miss. And he was working on his Cub Cadet tractor. Got the motor out, got the thing apart, and they got down to where the coil is. So they figured that the coil is bad, so they're going to switch that on that engine. Then we have in the backyard with Dell, and Bo to Bob, never hear anything from him. And then they have Mr. Gary, and we have Brian that retired for life, and then we have Kenny, Firewood Adventure. Kenny had a little video out there the other day that, what was the name of that? The wood can't stop. Well, that's about it, I guess, isn't it, Kenny? If you burn wood, you're either thinking about it, or you're wondering where you're going to get it, or you're cutting it, or you're splitting it, or you're burning it, or you're taking the ashes out, or you're cleaning the stove, or it's a year-round job if you're working with wood, that's for sure. And they were out, he and Winston were out getting wood, and they had the case tractor in the woods there. Boy, that thing sure can crawl over pretty near anything, I'd say, with the trailer on, with it full of wood. Oh, she's a great old tractor. And we have Dave, RCAF Polar Express. Dave had a lot of snow there, so he had to get his snowplow on, and no chains, and no snowblower on the back, and I told him, you better get ready, and there he was, stuck, trying to get the plow on, see? I told you, Dave. I'm sure I'm going to hear about that. And then we have maintenance with Mike. Mike had a couple of, I think they were shorts, I think, about plowing your driveway with a gravel driveway and not picking up the gravel. So this is where I kind of got the idea for what I'm going to do with my loader bucket. That's great information. Thanks, Mike. And we have Lois Mowers and Boats. And then we have Rick's Outdoors. And Rick has got a problem. He's selling more wood than he ever expected, and he's running out. So he's got to decide as to whether he's going to take his advertisements down and just look after his regular customers, or leave them up and wait till he runs out of wood. I guess I would say be taking the advertisements down and looking after his regular customers, I would think. So Knowles Garden Tractors and Firewood. Yeah, well, here we are, another Sunday afternoon fireside chat. And then we have Rick, Twin Brook Acres, and well, like I mentioned earlier in the video about the starter, Rick is working on an MF12 garden tractor, so I'm trying to help him out with what little knowledge that I have, and garden tractor boy Joseph, he's helping him out too, so Rick will get her going, and that'll be good. They use that for cutting grass, yeah. They make a nice job for cutting grass, and them tractors, yeah. And we have Craig, Everyday Projects. Gravely Man, Small Engine Repair. Artie was working away on the motor that was on the MTD garden tiller, and Artie doesn't want that. No MTDs in that yard. All Gravely equipment, that's for sure. But he wants to keep the motor off of it. I don't blame him. I think it's a 5 horsepower Briggs engine, I think. Good engine to keep, that's for sure. And we have In My Busy Little Shop with Robert Little. And then we have The Log Father. Allen Family Firewood. Look at that now. There's one I was going to watch and I didn't get to it yet. And that's the way down. That's back last Friday. Holy cats, that's 2 days ago. Oh dear. And then Big Sons. I think he's into, yeah, he had his last grass cutting, I think, the other day. And then Cod, Raven, Holly, and Brian are into showing rabbit farming, I think it was today. I didn't get to look at that either. So then we have Tucker and I out and about. Outdoors in the 608 with Jeremiah. I didn't see that one yet either. Larry Cluck, Outdoors. Ross on the land. Ross got his first snow too. Had the tractor out cleaning that up, I think. So, of course, I didn't get to see that one yet either. Club Dora. Too bad we don't hear anything from Al anymore. Mike at K&L Firewood. We don't hear anything from him either. And Gator's World. Gator was starting to put the pontoon boat away. We had the John Deere tractor with the bucket. Gator made sure he said, "I got a bucket too." Yes, you do. You got a better one than I do, Gator, that's for sure. That's a nice tractor with a nice loader on it. Yeah, so he had that hooked up to his pontoon boat, and that's how he gets it into the building with the tractor. Then we have John, the Bradleys on Catbird Hill. John got new wood splitter, one of them Wolfridge VS17s. So there should be lots of videos coming up on that. We have Father and Son Outdoors, and then we have Darrell Wells, different stuff. Then we have Tractor Talk with Gary. And there's a big auction coming up, I think. On the 20th, I think. Yeah. Maybe have a look at Gary's site there and our channel and see when that is. I think it was on the 20th. Anyway, there we have one of the nice tractors that Gary has. Look at the size of the sticker. Holy cats, it just goes right from one end to the other almost here. And then we have the tractor approved, or the Gary approved smoke I put on. I put it on, but I asked Gary first before I did it, so I didn't want to I didn't want to upset him. And then we have Steve, Rusty Wrench Restorations. And Steve was at a plow day. Well, that was a great video. All kinds of tractors, all kinds of big, small, even a tract loader or tractor like that plowing. And I don't know if that was Steve's old one or not, but it looked identical to that one. And yeah, there a bunch of them were plowing, and Steve had a young fella on his tractor, letting the young fella drive it. I don't know how old the fella was. He was probably, I'd say, around 7 or 8 years old, I'd say. But he had a great time doing that. The young fellow will never forget that drive, that's for sure. And we have Rusty Wrench Restorations here again. And then we have Adirondack Woodsman. I better get my camera up here. There we go. Yeah. I've seen the video, now I can't remember what it was. Anyway, just got a good channel there. He's right into the wood. Firewood and milling. Alright, so that's going to conclude today's fireside chat. So, have a great day wherever you're at and whatever you're doing. We'll chat again soon.